What do you make of someone who has all the money and no power? What is the point of gaining wealth while not making change in your community? You see all these megachurches in poor neighborhoods where the neighborhood never gets better. The church grows and grows and becomes more luxurious, while the area it's in gets worse and worse. This is the epitome of being a bloodsucker of the poor. The Christian church is the biggest and longest running grift the world has ever known. But I digress. There are so many rich folk who are of no benefit to their communities. With their money and influence, they can't affect any actual change. They may start a food drive where they allow people to have some food for a day, but not put them in a position to elevate themselves economically. They'll build a school someplace where it won't be for their own people, and the curriculum of the school won't be of any benefit to the community. When something happens to the people in their community, they won't do or say anything about it because they're afraid to lose their money. At this point, your money is worthless. If you can't protect your community with your wealth and influence, you're no more valuable than a wage slave. In this case, people who hate on those who have money are justified. If the only person your wealth benefits is you, then you have no value. Value isn't measured in numbers and commas. It's measured in how much of a benefit you are and how much impact you have on other people. It's a disgrace to see horrible things being done to your people while you sit idly by with all your money and fame and do nothing about it. You're getting punked. I'm not totally sure how much money Malcolm or Dr. King had, but these were truly wealthy people as they dedicated their lives to being a great benefit to their people. Sam Cooke was wealthier than Berry Gordy could have ever been. Marcus Garvey had it going on way more than W.E.B. Du Bois. These men didn't take their wealth and ride off into the sunset. They used it to help their people advance, even at the sacrifice of their own lives. Nowadays, these wealthy celebrities are all sellouts. They have no integrity, and in different situations, they would have been snitches and informants. They play at being about the cause of their people, but go turncoat once more money and more fame is flashed in their face. They get bought off by the enemy and are used against those who are solid. When people talk about poor millionaires, is this what they're referring to? Dr. Neely Fuller, in his book, talked about the slave plantation never going away. We are now in what he called greater confinement. These wealthy celebs are a great example of this concept. All the fame, all the wealth, none of the power. Make one wrong move, say one wrong thing, and it can all be stripped away. Wouldn't this make people, even with tons of money, wage slaves? All the money in the world, and you don't actually have ownership over your own life. Someone else has bought and paid for you, and you're adhering to their will. Isn't the point of financial independence independence? We work hard to put ourselves in a position to break the shackles of poverty, only for the things we do and say to be controlled by someone else. Some will argue people who amass wealth are not responsible for the betterment of their community or anyone other than themselves. This mentality is how you end up at the very bottom of society. A strong community can only exist if the affluent of the community pool their resources and contribute to its growth. The every man for themselves way of thinking is how you end up with one half of the people having nothing and the other half being sellouts. Those with nothing languish, while those who have something get bought off by people who did form strong communities. None of this sounds like freedom or power. Sam Cooke, Malcolm, Dr. King, Marcus Garvey were all eventually murdered for their heroic efforts, but these men were truly free, had real power, and would have done it all again if they had the chance. A valiant man will die only once. A coward dies every day. It's truly a tragedy to die long before you stop breathing.